What's going on?
Peace.
Peace.
This is Joshua Miller Law, Mr. PhD. You're just now entering the cipher called Real2reel360.
Uh-huh.
K-Wise.
Peace, God.
Bring that beat in, kid.
Indeed.
Peace.
Yeah. What's going on, party people? Welcome to the Real2reel360 show. Let's get it in. We do the knowledge and wisdom so you can understand. Real2reel360 shows in full command. We changing the game for how it all was taught. From bondage to freedom to an independent thought. Yo, the show is here to bring about a change for real. To lighten everyone so we all know the deal. 360 degrees is a fact. We created the show to give our love back to our communities so we can know what's going on and give them the support from knowledge to born. So if you're ready to learn, then it's time to go. Sit back and relax and enjoy your show. Peace. Peace and blessings. What's good, everybody? Peace to Allah's 5% of nations of gods and earths. Peace to all the human families of the planet Earth. I be DJ KYs, a.k.a. Kato, the Black Superhero. Welcome you to another episode, and an epic one at that, of the Real2reel360. Well, without further ado, you know what I got to do. I got to bring on my brother in God, my co-host with the most, none other than my brother in God, Joshua Miller, a.k.a. Mr. PhD himself. Peace, G.
Peace to the gods and nerds, man. Peace, man. Yo, check this out. This show right here, for those of you who understand what the 90s and the 2000s meant to us coming up, man, and what R&B and soul music actually meant, this group that we're bringing on today was a part of that. They had epic songs. This one epic song, Written All Over Your Face,
Yes,
you know what I mean, was like an anthem in a lot of players' cards. You know what I'm saying? When you want to talk to Shorty and she act like she ain't feeling you, but you can see it in her eyes, she feeling you.
Yes,
you play
sir.
that Written All Over Your Face. Next thing you know, she melting. You know what I'm saying? And you get a good at least 30 more days inside the crib. Just behind that one song right there.
We get a good pass.
Right now, I want to bring on G. LeBeau from the Rude Boys.
Yeah, then we also have Brother Kenny Miles is here. He's in the building. Let's bring him on. Let's bring him all on.
Oh, Brother Kenny Miles is in the building as well.
Indeed. All about
Jesse.
What's going down? I'm sorry. I apologize to y'all right now. But
It's all good. It's all good.
In transit right now.
Man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to have y'all on. Like I said, you know, during a certain era of time of music, y'all was like part of that foundation, whereas individuals was bumping you like crazy, and y'all was right there with Levert and going hand in hand. I think like y'all was like the brother group to them, and
yeah,
to listen to y'all songs and y'all singles, you know what I mean, young players back in the days, you know what I'm saying, when you thought you had some game, and if you didn't have no game, all you had to do was let, you know what I'm saying, the record play. You know what I'm saying? When you let the record play, then, you know, like I was saying on the intro, that got you 30 more days inside the house after you'd have been out all night long. But at this moment in time, I want to allow y'all to give yourselves an opportunity to introduce yourselves to our followers and our listeners, if y'all don't mind.
That's what's up. Well, what's going on, folks? My name is Kenny Miles of the Rude Boys, 1/3 of the Rude Boys. You know, how y'all doing?
All right.
AKA is Jesse for y'all that don't know. The AKA is Jesse.
Jesse is only in the strip club. I only go by that in the strip club.
Yeah, I'm G. LeBeau, the other third of it. So Joe Little should be popping in a second, brother. I just got off the line with him, so he should be hitting in a second.
That's okay. That's true. What year did y'all become an actual group?
Man, Joe got the whole history. Me and Kenny is actually we've been with Joe 10 years now.
Okay.
Buddy Banks and
right?
Bango Yeah. Buddy Banks and Bingo passed a few years ago. So
All
God
right.
bless them.
Blessings
I'm
to
saying?
them. Blessings to them both.
Recently, a
Peace
year
be upon them.
Buddy passed, and me and Kenny been in the group for a little more than 10 years now with Joe. And then
Okay.
the group started, I want to say like 80
That was
80
'89,
yeah, 88, 89, or something like
88. Yeah.
that. With Joe and Buddy Banks started the Rude Boys together, you know what I'm saying? And then but Joe got the whole story. He'd be in a second because I don't want to mess
Okay.
none of the history up, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, we're gonna work on your history with the group. What was the motivating factor for you to join the Rude Boys when you did?
Well, I can speak first on it because me and Kenny has been in groups together for, I want to say, how many years? Kenny, we can say it now. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to hide.
I ain't lying, bro. I mean, I was like, 2 or 3 years old when I first, came in. I'm the youngest in the group. So that was, man,
Now, me and
it's been
Kenny,
since
man,
96, bro.
yeah, so we've been in the group together. We had a group called Final Four, and we changed the name to 2020. It was 4 of us, and we lived in California together. And we actually from Indianapolis, Indiana, is my second hometown, which is
That's where I was
New Orleans is where I'm from originally. You know what I'm saying? But when I moved to Indianapolis, I was 10, and then when I was a teenager, me and Kenny met. I ended up going to his school, high school, prom, and then years later, fast forward, we find out both of us sing and ended up me and my brother Jim LeBeau, we was in California together in the group, and we needed another member, so we called Kenny. We knew Kenny already, so Kenny came to Cali, and we was down there in California. I want to say we left in 2000. But rewind back to that, I've been knowing Joe Little and Buddy since I was 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? Because we had a group, me and my brother and 2 other guys, was called the Fellas. And I know you probably remember the Groove On album Gerald had out that was titled On. Remember the song Answer Service?
Yeah.
And we wrote a song, me and my brother wrote one called Same Place, Same Time on that album. That's the platinum record on the wall in the back. Thanks to Gerald, blessing us to be on that album. But we sung backgrounds. Our group was called the Fellas. And we sung backgrounds on Answering Service. That was us singing that. I love you. Hope you get this message.
Yeah.
So that was us singing all the backgrounds.
All right. We got brother Joe Little coming on right now. We're gonna add him on in.
Yep, there he is.
Yes, sir.
What's up with it?
Welcome, Mr. Joe. Mr. Joe Little, welcome.
What's going on, man? I was having a hard time getting on for a minute.
Hey, you here. It's all that matters. You here in the flesh, so we good.
Yeah, in the flesh. Like I said, now we got all 3 members of the Rude Boys on at one time.
Yeah, the building.
Well, Gino, finish telling us about that history with singing background on that song off of Answering Service.
Yeah, so I ended up meeting Buddy like 93, Buddy Banks from the Rude Boys. So Buddy introduced me to Joe. We was in the hotel. We sung for him a cappella, my group, right? And when Buddy heard me sing the first time, and he had them glasses on and tilted them down and was looking like, man, he couldn't believe, you know what I'm saying? He started tearing up when I first sung for him with my group. And he claimed us. He was like, man, this is my group, the Fellas, you know what I'm saying? So he brought us to the hotel, and Joe Little and the original Rude Boys was performing at, I want to say, the Black Expo in Indianapolis, Indiana. And he introduced me to Joe, you know what I'm saying? And then gave me his address and phone number, you know what I'm saying? And told us to come to Cleveland. He introduced us to the OJs. And then we signed under the OJs production, my group, the Fellas. And that's how we got on Gerald Levert's album. And then, you know what I'm saying? But we stood in contact, me, Joe, and Buddy, it's like he was my ex-brother-in-law too. So we was like, and my big brother mentor at the same time. So I love Buddy dearly, you know what I'm saying? Looked up to him, I studied him and all that, you know what I'm saying? Coming up with my group, because we looked up to the Rude Boys. And then fast forward, Joe needed some other members in the group with the Rude Boys, because at the time Buddy was sick. And, he was doing dialysis and certain things. He couldn't do shows. And, we ended up, and I introduced him to Kenny. And that's how we ended up being in the group, the Rude Boys.
Wow.
Mhm.
All right.
The
All
Joe
right.
can tell you the history from the beginning, how it started. You know what I'm saying? But that's how we here now.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to see how the group that Kenny was in before we got into the actual group of today's group. Kenny, what group was you in prior to joining Rude Boys?
So that would have been 2020, the group 2020 with G.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, singing wasn't going to be my thing. I thought I was going to be, another Denzel Washington, And so when I got out there, my focus was really, trying to get some acting gigs,
Okay.
And I did a few little things here and there,
Okay.
He was definitely in there working when he was in Cali. He ended up doing some extra work. He was on the movie Life. He could tell you movies he was on, but he was
Mike,
working.
you
When
could play that game. I was working, gold member. I was doing some work. A lot of it, some of it was stunt work, especially on gold member. It was because we was roller skating, so a little bit of
Mhm.
stunt work here and there, So I've been blessed, man.
That's
Okay.
beautiful.
Good. Good.
That's, now, Mr. Joe Little, how you doing this evening, brother?
I'm great, sir. How you doing?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm just humbled and blessed to have y'all on our show.
Absolutely.
Like I was saying in the beginning, uh, like I said, written all over your face got a lot of the young players through back in the day. You know what I'm
please,
saying? So a lot of times, we rock that. But I wanted to get the history of the Rude Boys. How did y'all start out? You know what I'm saying? Who was the original cast? Who was the original singers? And how did y'all get down with the OJs and Levert?
The Rude Boys was started by Buddy Banks, rest in peace, Edward Buddy Banks, and myself. We started the group years ago, probably sometime like around 1989, 88, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
We established the group in 88. Prior to that, we had a gospel group called Power. Buddy and myself and a guy named Mark Jenkins and a guy named Eric Davis. And we transitioned on into the Rude Boys. So going into there would be me, Buddy. We would start off with a couple other guys, my friend Mark and this guy named Blackie. And then we soon restructured and did it as a band with the other guys. And then we soon um, narrowed it down to the four of us. And so we did local gigs in Cleveland, around in the Ohio area, in different places. And I used to hang out with Eric Nolan Grant, which is one of the guys that's in the OJs, the younger guy that's in between Walt and Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to tell me he knew Gerald Levert, and I actually met Gerald Levert once up at his mansion, his parents' house or his mom's house. And we had some interaction. But later on, one night, when I happened to just get Buddy to come out to the club where Eric had introduced me to, I used to sit in with a lady named Evelyn Wright. So Buddy came in one night, and I was like, I sing with this lady. She calls me up. So she called us up, and in the midst of us getting ready to sing, I saw Gerald standing on some steps, and I was like, everybody, we got Gerald Levert from the group Levert. I was like, Gerald, come on up here and sing with us. And so Gerald started singing with us, man. You could tell he really didn't want to come up there. But he came up there, and we had a great performance. We sung a song called Everything Must Change.
Mm-hmm.
And, we had a very explosive performance together. And after that, he was like, man, I want to work with y'all. And so we met with him the next day. We met with his father. Actually, we didn't even know his father was going to be at the meeting. But the great Eddie Levert was there, and we sung for them, and Eddie was like, we was all right, and Gerald was like, well, I'm gonna work with these guys, and so the rest is history. We worked on our first album, Rude Awakening, in which we had a number one smash off of Written All Over Your Face, and we also had another number one hit record on Billboard with Are You Lonely for Me? Yeah. And so these two records helped us have a great first album. We later that year won Billboard R&B Song of the Year with Written All Over Your Face at the Billboard Awards, which was great. And we went on to, work on the second album. And then after that second album, Rude House, we kind of disbanded as a group. I went on to do a solo album on Atlantic Records called Putting It Down. And that sustained me for a couple more years. And after that, basically was nothing. And until Gerald Levert passed, and we all came back together to do the group. A couple members came back, some like one elected not to, because he was into the gospel era, and then we started going towards that journey, and it kind of brought the Rude Boys back together, like in 2006, 2007, and so was just doing our thing, and then I grouped up. Basically, I restructured the group with Kenny and G. I went on and just, Buddy got sick. He wasn't able to perform anymore. So basically, I took the reins over and restructured the group. And therefore, Kenny, Miles, that you see right there, and G. LeBeau, we've been together for 10 years. So, we've been doing our thing together on the road, doing shows, working on, we put out a couple singles since we've been together. Soon to put out something else new, up and coming, hopefully before the end of the year. And just, out here doing our thing on tour, man, touring.
I have a question about how does it feel to have a song that lasts a lifetime, like go decades? That when you hear written all over your face, and you still get the same response from individuals from the first time that it was played. How do you know what I'm saying? How do that make you feel? Because that's like iconic status.
Man, it's amazing, man. I mean, all my life, ever since I was a little kid, I dreamed of just making it and having a hit record, and making it, man. But little did I know, like me right now in my life where I'm at, little did I know I would have such a gem of a song that would sustain for the rest of my life. I could eat off this song. I could, matter in some form or fashion and do shows, and with hopes of things, even something going viral with this song again one day. Even though it's a very, very popular song, current day is one of the top reoccurring 90s songs played from the 90s. So it's played with medium airplay. It gets medium rotation, right now as we speak.
I know that when you go to clubs.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got a call.
Oh, no problem.
But yeah.
When you go to clubs and you hear that song come on, and when it hit, when it hit, it'd be like everybody just, it takes them back to a time in every era, whereas music was real music, where it was a lot of love in the music, and everybody was dealing with certain things. But how was it during that period of time? Because at that period of time it was New Jack Swing, and did he?
We lost him. He got popped back in from his call.
Okay. But
one of the questions that I wanted to ask, being the two newer members, basically, but sustaining 10 years within the group time, what has been some of y'all highlights for yourselves at the time with the group?
And some of the highlights, I mean, it's still being highlighted. Like recently, it was just it's always a blessing to be on the stage with people you grew up listening to. That's one of our highlights. Like we just did a show recently in Indianapolis, Indiana with Keith Sweat, SWV 112 Tank. And man, it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? The turnout was great. You know what I'm saying? It was a big crowd. Everybody loved it. And then at the end, just being in the dressing room in the back, when you get off stage, just to hear the stories and stuff everybody have to tell, you know what I'm saying, about the past that they went through, you know what I'm saying, and their path, man. It's always a blessing to be able to hear that and for them to be able to share the moments and stuff like that. Even though we've been in the game, me and Kenny been doing stuff behind the scenes and certain stuff for years, but at the same time, it's not like having a #1 record out, being with people that experienced that, and we get to hear the stories, man, and then still live part of the history with them. That's the blessing. of it all. You know what I'm saying? So we still get highlights every time we get on the stage. You know, because it's a blessing.
Yeah,
You know?
without a doubt. I can't particularly say one specific thing or or two specific things. It's just, I think just being able to do what you love and
Yeah.
get paid to do it,
Right.
and it's not about the pay, but to get paid to do what you love, and be able to eat, that's a blessing in itself, man. I mean, not very many people are happy about their jobs, but I'm excited about mine.
How is it to step on stage with those icons that you're talking about, Keith Sweat, the SWVs? How is that feeling to really be gracing the stage with some of the greats, all-time greats?
Well, you can speak on that, Kenny, bro. You hear me, Jesse? Oh, he locked up.
Oh, okay.
Joe, I don't know. I don't know what that's
Now,
about.
Joe, he's muted. If you want to answer that, you unmute yourself.
Man, it's been, throughout my career, man, since day one, I've been able to rub elbows and grace the stage with some of the greatest people, man. I mean, I've been able to do, work in the studio and sing with Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder. I mean, Roger Troutman, Charlie Wilson. I mean, just a host of Nancy Wilson. I mean, just a host of names that I could keep naming forever, whose path I've crossed or have shared the stage. Bobby Womack, shared the stage with him and sung with him. So, it's been such a pleasure. Like I said, man, ever since a kid, I never knew that my career would be such a great career, and being able to be around such great artists and come from a great era also, the 90s, which is, I'm proud to be an alumni of the 90s and from a 90s group, man, because it's a great era in music.
Yes.
Probably the best after 70s for black
and
music.
Piggybacking on what you're saying, Joe, I mean, it's not just being able to rub elbows, but to call some of these people your friend. You know what I mean? So that's a blessing within itself as well.
Yeah, building relationships.
Exactly. We got a lot of mentors, man, and me.
I'm going to ask, how competitive was it in the 90s with the R&B group?
It was very competitive, man, because you had a bunch of boy bands, R&B, male R&B groups. So it was very competitive.
We ain't losing.
Oh, okay.
Just froze. You might have got a call in or whatever.
Y'all got me back.
Yeah. You there, Joe?
Yeah, you back.
Hello?
Yeah, you right here. We hear you.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Good.
So, and it was very competitive, man. Just doing shows together, seeing who get the most cheers, and I mean, it was an amazing era. We were very competitive. We see each other like at different shows, man. We'd go in the bathroom and compete against each other outside of just us doing shows. We were competitive, we have sing-offs. I've been in a couple sing-offs in the bathroom, hemmed up with about 3 or 4 different groups from the 90s, getting it in. So, it was a great era, man. And we had a lot of fun. And it's good seeing brothers, still around during this era. We've lost quite a few 90s artists, man. So just grateful to still be here, to be able to breathe and create memories, man, and continue just to, entertain our fans is very important,
My only question is this, and I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna be quiet. When y'all first came on the Apollo, and I remember watching it, y'all was on the Apollo and Gerald came out and everything. Oh, we lost him. But I don't know if y'all might have been on there at that time or not, but watching that performance, and everybody was in high spirit and high emotion. It seemed like when Gerald came out, it just got even more electrified, and the more he put out, it was like how the group even put out even more. It was like, you got your big brother up on stage, so you got to shine.
I can remember the performance.
Yeah.
I remember
that's still happening right now, man. we still do that same thing. You know, it's like it's as we, you know, we motivate each other, we push each other on stage. You know, so it's like, you know, when one person is in good voice, we all in good voice. You know what I mean? Because it's like we looking like, oh, okay, that's what we doing. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Right.
That's what's up.
Now, how has it been, watching the music actually change from the groups and the love songs being predominantly on the radio to what we see now as pop and all this other stuff? How do y'all keep reinventing yourselves and staying on top of your game?
Wow. I mean, you could. It's just staying relevant is hard for anybody. You know what I mean? So, you know, staying up on top of, you know, no, I don't think anybody's ever really, you know, unless you Beyonce, you know, nobody's ever really on top of their game. So it's like it's a ever evolving, you know, wheel that it's just like you just keep jumping on that wheel and keep doing it, man. You know, and hopefully, you know, something else that you've done or something that you do new that it catches on. And you know, music changes every 6 months, so it's like, you know, it's hard to keep up with it. But you know, if when you have hits like Written and you know, Are You Lonely, it's like, thank God, you know, because it can still stay in rotation with everything that's happening right now.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that we talk about all the time about how music is universal. Music is universal, and we have the music that feeds your soul. And the two songs that off your first album fed the soul of the youngsters in the 90s. That 90s R&B, it fed the soul of the individuals. And that was during New Jack Swing era. And how was working in that New Jack Swing era and staying true to your own self during that period of time?
You know what? Our group, it was a New Jack era, but we wasn't a New Jack like group.
Nah, not at all.
But I wanted to be honest, you know, because that was the going thing. So, you know, I was a very young man, you know, around the age of 22, 23 years old. And so I wanted to be what the going thing was. But, you know, I was from a traditional R&B camp, you know, with the OJs, Levert, you know, more of an old school R&B. So we wasn't the New Jack Swing group, but I wanted to be. I was on shows with them or whatever. But I believe that's the beauty of the situation of Written All Over Your Face, that it wasn't like everything else. Excuse me. It wasn't a cookie cutter song of that era. And that's what made it stand out and be the hit that it is today. And that is just a great song. It just has all the great ingredients of a hit record and a song that touches upon something that everybody can relate to, you know. So most definitely, man, thankful for just being in that era, man, and being able to even just be a part of that. Like I said, to be alumni of the 90s era is a pleasure, you know, definitely.
Who was the writer for the song, Written All Over Your Face? Who wrote the song?
A guy named Larry Bingo Marcus. He was the sole writer of it. I was the first person that he tested out. We tested the song out a long time ago. We actually did it on a 4-track years before it came out, probably like around in 87. We recorded it first.
Was it the same way or kind of
It was the same. Well, when we first did it, no, it didn't sound exactly like it sounded once it came out. But once Larry took it to Philly, to the studio, and Jim Salomon produced it, it became something else. It became like something I never imagined. When he came back with the track, I'm like, whoa, what's this? You know, this is totally different. This is the big time, you know. And it didn't sound like all the other stuff, you know, out there. Like, we were trying to be within that mode, but Jero was just like, nah, man, we R&B. We strictly R&B. We ain't gonna try to chase sound, you know. That's for Teddy Riley and all them and all these guys trying to do that. We already established. So it was a great thing, man, just to be a part of that era and to be able to be a standout and win a Billboard award, man, during that time.
Yeah.
Competition was fierce. So, you know, it just goes to show you that you don't have to fit in. Sometimes you have to fit out, you know. A lot of people try to fit in, and that's not what it is. You need to fit out and, you know, develop your own, you know, your own thing, your own lane, and not be a cookie cutter.
Right. Now, how was it being in the camp with the OJs and the Leverts and you know, and Gerald? Was that a lot of competition within itself?
Yeah, it was competitive because it actually was a time when all three of us was on the charts. We was like all like 1, 2, 3 lined up to go number one on the Billboard. So it was competitive, you know. And also just the training, the A&R that went on within the camp, you know, the training as far as staging and showmanship and you know, practice. It was you know, it was that we demanded the best coming out of that camp, man. So you know, when you see Eddie Levert and you see Gerald Levert perform, you already know what it is. So we come from that tradition.
Right. And we're coming from that type of tradition, like you said, showmanship, being able to have that stage presence and being able to sing to the crowd. You know, that's something that I feel is lacking in today's music. When a lot of people don't have the showmanship, they don't have the, you know, the artistry, because they just get there and they'll sing and you don't even see them moving. It's just the crowd more so than anything else, and the music itself is motivating the crowd instead of actual performance. So when you go into a area, a stadium where y'all performing, and you see how the crowd is so into your music, how does that make you feel?
My bad. It's always a good feeling, man. I mean, I don't think nobody would say that they wouldn't feel good about that. You know what I mean? Just to, I don't know. I don't know. You know, after I got my first, you know, 5 Oscars, I was just like, well, you know,
Jesse, come on.
We're gonna discuss the Oscars.
Come on, now talk about it.
Hey, first of all, since you put the Oscars out there, right?
Come on.
What you get the Oscars for? What movies behind? Let the people know what movies you intend to get your Oscars.
Come on, tell them what it is.
You know, I can't disclose that right now. You know, it's under litigation. You know, we're in litigation right now.
Yeah, you can't put that out there. You get sued, man.
But being a renowned, being into acting, right? And like you said at the beginning, you wanted to be the next Denzel or the best King Miles. I'd rather say that than say the next into
jumping into a group that, you know, that had a Billboard award, you know, #1 songs, you know, of course, you know, that was a transition, but it wasn't hard to transition, you know, because I've been doing music at that point, you know, since I can remember, you know what I mean? So I was kind of preparing myself, you know what I'm saying, I guess for what, you know, preparing myself for it, I guess if you can say that. So it was just a big rehearsal, you know what I mean? And we're still rehearsing. So, you know, we still learning every day, man. We adding to the show every day, adding to, you know, to the performance. So
now with y'all have some new music that y'all working on.
Yes,
is it still the same vibe of the 90s, that R&B feel that you could definitely hear that camp from that camp, or have you adjusted your sound?
Well, it definitely had to be
adjust the sound.
The R&B is in it, if you know what I'm saying. We never get away from that, because that's the soul of the music to us, to be able to sing. Each one of us loves singing, you know what I'm saying, and it's real. So, but we still had to evolve. Certain sounds and all that, of course, change, and different stuff musically, but the structure of the R&B is still there. but it's always hard when you have a number one hit like Written, because the crowd and the audience always want to go back to that moment when the history was in the 90s, when they lived it and grew up to something and it was experiencing their life. So it's gonna always be hard to compete with that, because sometimes, a lot of times, they won't even accept new stuff. They want to hear the old stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
No matter where you are.
They want to hear the hits, man.
yeah, they want to get to the hit. I mean, you can have
Yeah.
some bangers in the beginning of the show, like new stuff, and it's their first time
And we
hearing
do.
it.
Yeah.
They feel it. You know what I'm saying? But when that written hit, it's just a whole nother
Yeah.
thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, yeah.
Ain't nothing
That
like
was
the
all
old
right.
school.
It's
Y'all
like,
got,
it's,
I'm good with that, but I
That was
want
all
to hear
right.
that
Come
written
on.
all over your
I
face,
don't
man.
want to hear
I
that.
like
Right.
what I'm hearing to hear.
so,
Right.
so either way it go, man, no matter how great
Yeah.
our new stuff is, man, they always gonna want to hear that
Okay.
original. You know what I'm saying? Things with establish those. I call it them marks in life. That music, it put a time stamp in your life. You know how music, the only thing do that. Music and smell, man, it'll take you right back, like, to a moment in life, man, and you'd be like, "Dang, man, I remember when my parents played this, or when I was at a party, or whenever, the moment in life." You know what I'm saying? So it's just hard.
During the 90s, a lot of times everybody wanted to be on soundtracks and soundtracks for movies. How many soundtracks were Rude Boys on during that period in time?
We wasn't on any soundtracks, but I wrote on a few soundtracks. The Fast and Furious, Rush Hour 2, and I also was part of the Jason Lyrics, Black Man United, you will know.
Okay.
So those were great moments, man, just to be a part of those and to still be reaping the benefits from those moments, man, through residuals and royalties and stuff like that. So it's a great thing, man, and especially with the Black Man United with Jason Lyrics, it was big history, man, big time history.
There was a whole lot of great
So-
artists on.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah, definitely.
and it also afforded for me to be able to perform on the American Music Awards. So therefore, it was another accomplishment, man, and to meet some legends during that time, to be able to meet Prince in person and Madonna and like just a host of others, man. It was amazing.
I would love to see a new one now, because we definitely
Right.
need it. I would love to see another BMU, because it's definitely needed, man.
We need it bad.
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal to see all the stars out there like that. It seemed like it was just one big happy choir. You know what I
Right.
mean? There was no big eyes, no little U's. Everybody was on the same level. And the song was so impactful and powerful. I play that joint all the time, man.
Wow.
I still, when I DJ, I make sure I play that joint.
Yeah, definitely. Now, how did that song come about?
It was just the Jason Lyric was a movie that they had just finished. They was finishing up on, and me and Gerald happened to be out in LA already, making some moves. And so during that time, the opportunity came across to be on the soundtrack. And Gerald asked me, he's like, "Man, you want to be part of it?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, we're going to go do it." And so I became part of it. I got chose to do a lead part, which was amazing, to be picked to do a lead amongst your peers, the best of the best, is a great. So I was chosen to do my own part, and so that was a blessing in itself. So yeah, man, it was a great thing.
Yeah, because like I said, during that period of time, and you have what it was about 30, 40 top singers on one song.
Man, I don't even remember how many of
it was a plethora of them. It was a plethora.
Man, it was a plethora. And every last individual stood out, did their thing. But how much was it for you to represent for the Rude Boys on Black Men United?
I mean, it was a great thing, man. I was just happy that Gerald even told me about it, man. But Gerald always included me in a lot. We writing partners too, so a lot of stuff that we did together, it was because he kept me close to him. So, thankful to the mentor.
Yeah. How was that for y'all? How impactful was it for y'all when you find out that he had returned to the essence, man? I mean, I know how it felt for me when I heard. I was in shock. So I know y'all being real close.
Man, it was terrible, bro. It was a bad moment in my life. Definitely, I went into a deep depression, but it was a bad moment, man. It was to some points where I was just like, when will I be able to smile when I think about this dude? Like for real. So I'm at that point now, man, that I think about him. I don't shed any more tears for him, but I do have a yearning and a missing for him. Because anything that I'm basically doing today is because he believed in me, you know. I'm in the game, I'm in the race, you know, and I'm glad that I could afford my brothers Kenny and G to bring them along with me so that we can still live the legacy that you know, on the groundwork that was laid, you know. So I mean, it's not often that you get a chance to just jump on the ride, man, and be able to ride it. So that's what I was able to jump on the ride with Gerald, and for him to lead the way for us. And then, like, I'm glad that I could have my brothers Kenny and G jump on this ride with me so that we can experience this legacy and keep it going. You know, so we together 10 years, you know, over 10 years. And that's been a long time. Time has gone so quick, man.
Yes.
Time don't wait on nobody, man. And a lot has happened since we together as brothers and become a group. We done lost a lot of people together. You know, we've experienced loss together. You know, G's pops passed. You know, Kenny's pops passed since we've been together.
Kenny dad passed around the same time. You know, it was like it was back to back. Like
you know, my wife passed. You know,
oh man.
So a lot of stuff has happened in transition, and we've grown together in a lot of ways too. You know, not just as individuals, but as brothers, and come to understand each other more too. So that's a lesson. You don't get a chance to really be up under each other a lot, but we do come together. It's like we never have been apart. You know.
It's like people appreciate it too when they see us together. Before we hit stage, we huddle and say a prayer, put our heads together every show. You know, I think we might have missed one show, man, where we forgot to pray before we got on stage recently.
It was bad.
It was the worst show. You know what I'm saying? We got off. I said, man, you know what it was, bro? We forgot to pray before we got on stage, man.
We had to go backwards and pray afterwards because we had
to
go backwards and pray because we
forgot before we hit the stage every time, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and God be with us every time too. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't live in the same state. Me and Kenny in Georgia together, but Joe had to go back to Cleveland and take care of moms and pops and certain stuff. When his wife passed, he had to step in with the kids, and you know that's for him to say. But at the same time, he's been a lot, you know, going on. So we still, when we get together, it's like we never was apart. You know what I'm saying? But that's just because we, you know what I'm saying? It's just mental, you know. Yeah. But like you said, we lost a lot. We just lost Buddy recently in the group, even though he wasn't able to do shows. He still was the original Rude boy. You know what I'm saying? He introduced me. That's how I ended up meeting Gerald and the OJs and everybody was through Buddy. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because he was my favorite singer, and he used to say the same thing about me. You know what I'm saying? And he passed the torch to me before he passed. So I could never be Buddy. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm repping his parts. You know what I'm saying? I know he's proud of me. You know what I'm saying? Because we keep the songs alive. You know, because we doing it the way it was supposed to be done, man.
And that right there is a blessing because to keep that legacy going, stepping into big shoes and filling them, because a lot of people couldn't take on that weight of stepping in a group. You know what I'm saying? A legendary group, being able to sing those parts,
especially Buddy Banks, because everybody who sang, man, know we all looked up to Buddy as a tenor. You know what I'm saying? His voice is anointed, man. You know what I'm saying? And everybody used to look. We like when you hear Buddy parts, you be like, "Woo!" You hear that note he hit, man, and like it's like put chills on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's amazing that people come up to us at the end of the show and be like, "Man, y'all still sound the same." That mean that we doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's a blessing that y'all keeping this legacy going. You would never know that there were two other members in the group, you know, from just the appearance and just listening to y'all today. So, like you said, nothing has changed when it can come down to the Rude Boys. So when your new music hit and they hear it and everybody they get the same feel of the 90s Rude Boys, that R&B swing music. Is that really what it is for y'all to keep that legacy going? Keep, you know what I'm saying, keep Buddy's name alive and all these other individuals' names alive when it comes down to Rude Boys, Gerald Levert. Even, you know what I'm saying, with your wife alone, I know you carry her within your songs, Jim. So is that an intention of y'all's to keep the legacy alive for all the individuals that was a part of the rise of the Rude Boys?
For sure, man. That's yes.
Okay.
You know.
Enough said,
Yeah,
right?
we had a couple of months ago, we had Eddie Levert Jr. on the show, and he had talked about y'all briefly of all the people and all the groups that was under the umbrella and everything. And he spoke highly about y'all, and I was like, yeah, because we asked that question, what happened to the Rude Boys? You know, everybody's still around doing their thing, stuff like that. But you know, as we grow and move on, you know, sometimes we separate, but sometimes it's just like me and my little brother right there. You know, we ain't seen each other in a while, but it was like when we came back, before we started this show, I called him up because I was on another podcast show, and I called him up. I said, "Yo, I need you to come on this show, add on." He was like, "For real?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I know you'll be an asset to it and everything." And he get on there, and it's like I'm listening to him. It's like, nah, that's the same one from way back, like then and there. And when we started our show, it was this show here. We ain't never skip a beat. And the funny thing is, we clown each other more on the backstage than anybody will ever know, because that's what brother. You know, we'll get y'all when the show is over. We'll be like, y'all hang out for about 5 more minutes. You hear all the antics.
Right.
But, you know, that's just love. That's just love.
Yeah.
And I know from a concept, I'm a professional musician. I started playing drums. I sing, write all stuff too. But to have a love from someone that's not even your physical, you know, in that concept of being strong, it's a strong united front, and I see that with y'all as well. So that's why I say, when I always mention, I give my brother his accolades. I love y'all, man, because y'all still holding it down and making music relevant, making the love of music more relevant even into today. So big up to y'all, Rude Boys, man. I just got to give that love to y'all, man.
No, man, we
Thank you, brother.
thank you too, bro. We just thank you guys for having us today, man, and chopping it up with us and digging in a little bit, you know. But you know, this is what it's all about. You know, this is how our people get to know, you know, how we came about, know what's on our minds, what's going on, seeing what's up with us. So now we appreciate you guys.
I tell you, I would be remiss if I didn't shout out Miss Shantice. Because she was the vehicle that helped me get in contact with y'all, because y'all did a show with her, and you know, we try to network together. You know, those of us who do podcasting, it's similar like with R&B artists. We try to network with each other, and she was telling me about how great the interview was with y'all, and I was like, shoot, I've been trying to get at him. You know what I mean? Trying to, and she shot me the number, and like you said, the rest is history. And we have been anticipating this. Me and my brother was talking about it. I said, yo, and when I got y'all locked in, I hit him. I said, tell me who you love, boy. Tell me who you love, boy. Tell me who you love, boy.
Yeah,
because I got him. You know what I'm saying? So that was momentous for us. You know, we've had a lot of individuals on the show. And we've worked with a lot of individuals on, like mostly like Southern Soul artists. We recently had Big Rob, who used to be down with the Zap Band, and he's now a Southern Soul artist. We talked about individuals who are coming into their own. But when it comes down to the Rude Boys, y'all distinctive sound keeps y'all going. Y'all staying true to y'all roots. Keep, you know what I'm saying, keep everybody wanting to come back. Is that something that's motivating for y'all to stay grounded and stay to your roots?
Definitely, man. You
Always, man.
definitely can't go outside of what where you came from, so to speak. It's hard. It's hard. I've tried it. We're working on our individual projects as well, and it's you just can't. It's hard to walk away from what you actually know and are I guess are known to do. You know what I mean? Because as soon as you walk away, like we just said, it's like people they're not gonna want to receive it. You know what I mean? They gonna want the old, and you gotta keep that root. You know what I mean?
Now,
Yeah, you can't.
you're working on new music. Can you speak to some of the new music that you have working on?
Are you talking about the group?
Yes, the group.
Okay. So the project that we've been working on, it's ready. It's ready to go. We just trying to get that vehicle to get it, to push it to where it needs to go. But we got some heat. We definitely got some heat, man. We got some. It feels current. It feels old school. It feels like what you want to hear from the Rude Boys. Oh God, my thought process just went the greatest. Joe, where are we all? We're streaming the greatest, right?
Yeah,
Streaming the
it's
greatest
up under the Rude Boys, the greatest. That's one of our current singles that we have out as a group. We have one called Swag On that we put out, and also one called Believe in Love. So we do have a few songs on the market that you could look up that's within the last 10 years that we've done. But we definitely all have our own solo records. You just look up under Kenny Miles, MYLES, and G LeBeau.
See how to spell it right there.
Right there. And, I don't know where my brother was. And, Joe Little the third. Joe Little 333. Capital I's the third. So yeah, man, that's what we got going.
Okay, because I wanted to make sure that our followers and listeners was able to tap in and support y'all as a group and as an individual to see where they can get your music from and everything else. So that's a blessing. So are y'all streaming on all the streaming services?
All streaming services. You name it, you can get it. As long as you spell everybody's name right, we're at the Real Rude Boys. Kenny Miles, that's KENIMYLES, G LeBeau, Joe Little the third. You can find us. Just make sure you follow all of them.
Y'all more than welcome to share what you want with us. I'll put it out there like it ain't never been heard before.
Hey.
Let me be the first. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing to you one of the greatest, the newest. I can't tell you no more. I'm just giving you shoot. Now we're going to go to the new stuff. I got to let y'all shoot. We got them in the building, y'all. The Rude Boys right here.
Just tell us where to send it.
Well, I tell you, it's how has it been with music changing with a lot of people going more independent than they are with the majors? With y'all new music, are y'all going indie or y'all still with the majors?
Just independent, man. Especially at our age, it's all about independence and just grabbing the fans that you got. At the age we also are, we don't have a real big fan base that's really on the internet a whole lot. They do stream, a little bit, but yeah, it's just the independent way is the best way. If for some reason we blow up independently and a major want to come and give us some major paper, then of course we're open to get that paper.
Right. But I love the independent way because we have more creative control. That's what I love about the independent way, because we can put out really what we feel. You know what I'm saying? That we want our fans and stuff to hear. That we know we want to feed them the real. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of times they want you to water it down when you got somebody that's A&R in your project. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that creative control no more.
Right.
So is it easier to just get a distribution, a streaming distributor than it is to just go with the major.
Most definite, because majors, it's only a couple majors. What, about 3 of them that's really out there right
Majors
now?
ain't looking for you. They got to
Yeah,
come look for you.
nobody.
You got to wait for them to come. They want to see that you got 1 million followers and listeners and all
Right.
that are.
And by then you don't even need them, to be honest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you done did all the groundwork then, so there ain't no sense in going with a major unless they put some money behind it, and they want you to put your money behind it and blow it up before they even be a part of anything that you're doing now. So it don't make sense.
Okay. With that, it's like so it's more so like the distribution. If you were to deal with a major, because that's all y'all really would need is a distribution deal.
Yeah, distribution is out there for everybody though. It's easy to get distribution. It's
paying for that marketing, man, getting it out there. Oh, that's the thing. It's just having that budget really put behind the record to pay for ads, and because now it's streaming. There's no hard copy no more, so everything is different now. You know what I'm saying? The way you got to pay for ads, commercials, everything. It's just a whole lot of funds that got to be spent. You know what I'm saying? To get in rotation. It was different than what it was back in the day, where you can ride around with hard copies and sell them out the trunk, or hit the mom and pop stores and all that type stuff. Is all different now because it's streaming platforms, and we have no control over that stuff now. You know what I'm saying? It's
how important is creative control in your works is important to y'all?
That's real important. That's the easy part, though. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, we independent, so we have that creative control, and us writing is that's the easy part, man. The hardest thing is getting it out to the mass, and that's money. You know what I'm saying, bro? Unfortunately. And that's where we all at, you know, because we have individual projects out as well. Our album is actually complete, but we haven't put it out because we don't want to just throw it out there and I don't have nothing to put behind it, because it's great music, but we want to be able to have some support behind it when we put it out.
Absolutely. You know? Now, do y'all have any tour dates or dates where individuals can come see y'all perform?
Yeah, we have several dates coming up. Actually, this weekend we're in Knoxville, Tennessee, and then next month we'll be in St. Louis and Kansas City.
Okay.
So when you hit the East Coast, man, y'all gotta come to the East Coast, bro.
Are we coming?
That's all.
We just in DC recently.
Where you located?
I'm in North Carolina.
I'm in Maryland. I'm in the DMV. I'm in that DC, Maryland, Virginia area.
Okay. Yeah, we were just there recently, right?
Yeah, not too long ago. Last year, we was in Baltimore area.
Yeah.
We did a private event or something like that. Yeah.
Well, we would love to see y'all come to the East and show what real R&B music is all about. You know, because sometimes you got to pull these little youngins up and show them where it came from and where it needs to go, and re-educate them in the music, because the music today don't talk about love and all that anymore. They're more of
there's more
anything
porn.
go.
There's more porn. Oh man, I do a lot of little gigs out here, just stuff, man, supporting events out here in Atlanta, and every R&B artist now is F this, I want to F you. It's a whole nother way they coming at it now, bro. It's like they gorilla in it now. You know what I'm saying? It's they rapping rap lyrics with a little melody to it, basically. You know, it's no filter, basically. You know, back when we was out, you know, it was a certain way to write, which was clever. You could say something without saying it. You know what I'm saying? And still be able to
the wordplay is definitely different. The wordplay is definitely different.
You don't talk about who's listening now. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like when we was doing songs and still do songs, I think about if I can let my daughters hear it, if I can let my mama hear it. You know what I'm saying? I think of that first. And if not, I don't want to be a part of it. Because I get an opportunity to be featured all the time. People be like, man, you want to sing on the hookup? do this and that. But when I hear the lyrical content, if it's something I don't feel I want to be a part of, I just tell them, man, the truth, bro. I just don't want to be on that record. That ain't me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Respect
just,
that. Respect that.
yeah.
You know, I tell you, it's crazy. A whole hour done went by already, and
Oh man.
when it's like you're sitting and talking to individuals who you grew up with. I say that. You grew up with, listening to the songs, and you don't want to let the conversation go because it takes me back to a time and a period when, you know what I'm saying, of the 80s and 90s when everybody was that fly guy and everything of that nature, and the music and the wordplay and teaching you how to have game, what we used to call game back in the day. You know.
Right.
But I would love to bring y'all back on so we can at least push some of your music, where we can get the music and we can push it out on the next show for all three of y'all, for your singles and the group as a whole. And we want to, like, not say debut it, but we want to break it right here on Real2reel360, if that's okay with you gentlemen.
Yeah,
Cool.
man, we appreciate that, bro.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, okay?
Yeah.
You know, it's that time, my brother.
Well, you know, usually we end this on a note, you know, with our jam and everything like that. But before we do go, I just want to once again thank each and everybody for tuning in and listening to the Real2reel360 show. But I especially want to give a strong acknowledgement to the one and only Rude Boys, for the Kenny Miles, G. LeBeau, and Joe Little. What's the third TV for, Joe? I'm curious now. Third TV. What's we got?
Oh no, 3R. That's my my YouTube channel.
Oh,
Joe Little 3RD TV. Joe Little TV.
all right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in and chilling with us and the Rude Boys. We love each and every one of y'all. Keep listening, and we're going to roll it out like this here. Before I say peace, I got to play this.
Oh, man.
We just going to groove. It's something always about that song, yo. That first part.
Turn up a little bit, Kay.
Right there. Hey, G, y'all can, if you want to give us about 5 minutes to hang out backstage, we'll be good.
Okay, cool, bro.
Yes, once again, ladies and gentlemen, you have been tuned into the Real2reel360 show. This is DJ K-Wise along with my co-host Yashamel Allah. I say peace to you, peace to Allah's 5%, the nation of God's nerves, peace to all the human families on the planet Earth. Stay tuned and stay locked, stay mental, stay strong, but most of all, stay loved and encouraged. And we are out. Peace.
Peace.